Hey folks, it's Ivan from Nerd Network and Computer Enthusiasts on Facebook. Today we're going to go ahead and be doing a review of the HUANUO Dual Monitor Arm Mount. These have been provided to us kindly for a review, so we greatly appreciate that. However, I'd like to note that this is completely my unbiased opinion of the review of this for it. So just go ahead and stay tuned, and I'll do a quick unboxing and installation, and then we'll go back towards my thoughts on it. Alright folks, so we got that all unboxed and everything. Got it installed and set up on that. What I went with is the drill method. Threw the workbench on that to go ahead and mount them up on there. My workbench uses 2x4s, so I did not have enough clearance. Well, I had too much clearance actually for the clamp to actually be able to work properly on the workbench. So I just went and dismantled the clamping mechanism per the instructions and got it all set up that way. But I got these two Dell monitors mounted up on that to it. These are 22 inches. This mount is capable of going anywhere from 17 to 30 inches, I believe, up to 17 pounds per monitor on that. But these are just little ones I had laying around here in the workshop and stuff. So what I'm actually going to be using this one for that is currently in portrait is going to be hooked up to my computer out here and stuff, the Note 202. And so if I'm ever working on any projects or anything like renders with the vinyl cutter, 3D printing, any of that, then I can go ahead and work on my main PC, bring the files out here, that way so I can do any last adjustments and edits, things like that, and I have this one handy on it. The other monitor is just going to be dedicated for my NVR currently right now. I may make another use for it here shortly, but the NVR is mounted upwards on that, so this works out phenomenal for that. So I don't actually have to look up there to see what's going on, things like that if I need to. But overall, I do have to say I am rather impressed. The majority of this is aluminum. There are a few little plastic pieces, such as the little clamps on that and the cable management. But I do like about the clamps the fact that it's a separate piece from the actual monitor arm itself. I've had countless monitor arms. After a while, they just kind of strip out, things like that, due to the weight. And it's a pain to actually figure out a way of keeping it without having to buy a completely new one. In this case, it's just a little plastic clip, so if anything were to happen to that, yeah, you could just pop on something else similar to it that would actually work on the tube or the stands pipe, and it would work out pretty good on it. So let me go ahead and move these around a little bit, and I'll give a quick little demonstration of the different adjustments on them. Okay, so what we got here for it, basically there's a few different adjustments on that, and each of the ones on the post, there is a little screw that goes in with the Allen key that you can tighten up to go ahead and keep it sturdy. I did notice though, however, even at its loosest position, these are actually pretty snug on there. There's a little plastic, I guess you could say ring, on the inside of it for it. Also one prevents the screw from scraping the post, but also it gets it pretty nice and snug, and then whenever you do tighten that up, it's not moving anymore. I do like mine a little bit loose, that way so I can move them back and forth without having to really readjust anything on the fly, since these are going to be moved around quite a bit. From there, don't really have any adjustments on this one except from left to right. With the next post, it can go left to right or up and down depending on the orientation you want to have it set up as. Do be careful though, this can pinch you. I don't know. Yeah, it hurt. But I digress. Regardless on that for it. And also the monitor arm has the ability to swivel back and forth or switch it from portrait to landscape, or landscape to portrait. So it works out. There are different areas there, and there for tightening of the monitor to go ahead and increase the tension that way, so you don't want it to move around. At first it was just kind of swinging around a bit until I actually tightened this one out. Now it's to the perfect standing that I can leave it in any direction I want to with little effort, and it will stay up or stay down in this case on that forward, and don't have to make any adjustments on it. Of course, you can tighten the tension up even more, and it will be locked in place. There are two different cable management grommets that attach to the post. One of them actually has the ability to store, actually maybe both of them. Yeah, it is both of them. I'm going to pop one of these off real quick. But you can store the provided Allen keys in there as well too. That way so they're handy in case you need to make any adjustments to the tension on them. But they just clip onto the post. Have a little section there to route some cables for. On this post right here, I can stick my finger up there a little bit. You do have the ability of routing some cables in through that as well too. And you also do have a little piece that you screw onto this arm that has the pass-through as well too. So the cable management portion on these mounts is actually pretty phenomenal, considering the money for these. The locking mechanism for it is right here. I'm going to hold monitor just in case, but all you do is just pull it back, lift up, or push it down, puts it back into place, and then you can go ahead and swap it around all the way. It's not going anywhere, so it's a pretty good locking mechanism in my opinion on that. Alright, so I got them back in their position on that forward. Now, of course, this isn't the exact position. I have this one pulled back a little bit further there, and this one raised up a little bit on there as well too, behind my tool bench. But regardless, or tool cart. But regardless though, I'm very impressed with these. Like I said, there were a few little plastic parts on there, but I actually don't mind it. Majority of the construction is aluminum, and it's not thin either too, so it's not going to bend around or anything. It is pretty sturdy. I mean, the monitors do have a little wiggle on the mount since I don't have mine tight, but down here at the bottom, it's not going anywhere on the bench or anything for it, so don't have to worry about it being too heavy or anything like that. So I do have to say I am rather impressed with these. Of course, I will have links in the description for the products if you're interested as well too. Here for a short time coming up towards Black Friday 2019, there will be additional discounts and promo codes as well too. Be sure to check those out. Afterwards, I may have some other things running on that as well too. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied. These are phenomenal for the money. At the time of recording this, are $65 on Amazon. So yeah, I'm very impressed with these. So be sure to go ahead and check them out. And if you're not a member of Computer Enthusiast, we'd love to have you. Link is in the description as always. And if you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you disliked it, give it a thumbs down. Leave some constructive feedback. We always appreciate that out as well too. And hit that subscribe and bell icon to go ahead and check out what we have coming up next. Have a few more things in store for it as well too. But anyways, I digress. I'm rambling as I usually do in some cases. And if you haven't noticed, my breath is showing out here in the workshop. It is rather cold, so I'm out of here, folks. Thank you for watching. Have a good one, and until next time.